Welcome to humanity. This is our one.
Whatever it takes, we got to stop. Whatever it takes is what it took.
This is Brock Lesnar, and you're listening to Fight Net Radio.
Yo, hi, this is Sugar Ray Leonard, and you listen to Fight Net Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to listen to Fight Net Radio.
Me, Harvey Oswald, what's your name? How am I supposed to know you?
This is Frank Shamrock. You're listening to Fight Net Radio.
Hi, this is Nia, the Knockout St. John. You're listening to Fight Net Radio, and there's no way I would ever touch Lee.
This is Chuck Jackson.
I am Stephen Bonner, and you're listening to Fight Net Radio.
Dan Henderson, you're listening to Fight Net Radio.
Everybody, welcome to Fight Net Radio, where Lee's burning every bridge there is out there. All right.
Hi, this is Manny Pacquiao. I'll fight anybody on FightNetRadio.com.
Hey, I'm the king of the world! Hold it, you're not that crazy. I'm a bad man! Wait, I took up the world!
Drinking coffee, I should have been drinking beer. Yeah, Mark Davis.
Outstanding, and I recorded that. Welcome everybody to Fight Net Radio. Yes, it's Wednesday show being recorded on Friday. Why? Raiders are at home on Sunday. Why not record it on Saturday? We gave you a Saturday show about the Raiders, and we gave you a Sunday show about Floyd Mayweather. Jeez, what more do you want? I mean, all 12 of you. You guys really should see the t-shirts I have planned. I mean, nobody seems to get them but me, but I think they're freaking hilarious. But I digress. We have news for you. We have lots of news, and we'll catch you up to speed on everything. So if you checked out last week, I played Billy Joe Sanders and Frank Warren press conference, which leads into our first story. Billy Joe Sanders has backed out of the fight that he just did a press conference for. How's that possible, Andrew?
You know, these gypsies, Lee, I don't know what is going on with Sanders. I don't know what is going on with Tyson Fury, but they just seem to like to run around with the belts, but not actually defend them anymore. Billy Joe is saying he got injured again, and he pulled out. Well, they scheduled the fight, but it's just another setback. I mean, he was supposed to be a runner-up for either Triple G or Canelo in December or early next year. Don't know if that's going to happen now with this fight being moved all the way to November 26th. I mean, maybe if he gets out of there with the quick knockout, you know, they could throw him back in the ring just a few months later, but most likely no. He just fell out again of the Triple G and Canelo sweepstakes, at least for the beginning part of 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Fair enough. It's funny that literally, because I put out the press conference last week, I thought it would be different to get Frank Warren and Billy Joe Saunders on talking about their fight, talking about Triple G. They talked about everything at the press conference, and now he's not fighting. That's all
boxers do a lot. I don't know if it's social media, if there's just too much connection to these guys anymore, Lee. But if these guys fought more than they talked, or actually fought the people they talk about, damn, our sport would be awesome. But, I mean, seriously, Chris Eubank Jr., Billy Joe Sanders, Triple G, Daniel Jacobs, these guys run their mouth all day at each other, all sending tweets, sending this. When are you going to fight? When are you guys really going to seriously fight? It's just sad. But maybe there's just too much connection with them nowadays. Who knows?
Also,
Danny Garcia.
Tyson Fury. Well, no, before we get to Danny Garcia. Tyson Fury gets stripped.
We knew that was happening. We called that 2 weeks ago.
My question is, are they going to add it to the Joshua Klitschko fight?
Possibly the WBC. We'll see how that they decide on that. No, he didn't have WBC.
He had the WBA.
Yeah. No, and then the WBO is going up against Joseph Parker and Andy Ruiz, which is, that's cool. I followed Andy Ruiz a lot, Lee. Mexican heavyweight, not too many of them, so I'll watch them when they're there. I like the kid. He's big. I wish he would train more, a little bit like Chris Arreola, where their size really doesn't look like they're training when they're not fighting, but he's got fast hands, good combo, good power. I think he had a little issues with manager trainers. He's taken care of all that, gotten new guys, and now all of a sudden he's in a title shot. So Andy Ruiz, got to look out for him. Joseph Parker, not really known, undefeated, one of those guys on the outside looking in. Isn't he from New Zealand, I think? I believe that's where Joseph Parker.
As it stands right now, the WBO is considering a 4-man tournament between Parker, Ruiz, Hay, and Huey, with the winner of that coming out as the WBO champion.
And that's fine. And now I thought Parker and Ruiz was already signed for the vacant title. This 4-man tournament came after, but maybe they're switching up the rules. Either way, as boxing fans, we got to be happy. Andy Ruiz, Parker, David Hay, and who's the last guy?
Parker, Ruiz, Hay, and Huey.
Oh, Huey, yeah, Huey Fury, right? That's his.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, undefeated also. Yeah, those are all good fights. So I don't mind the tournament at all. I'm glad.
It's the way it should be done. I mean,
exactly.
You would think the minute you drop a belt, take the top 4 guys, let them go at it.
Now I do got to throw in that for some reason David Hay was on social media talking about fighting Shannon Briggs. Oh, excuse me, I do have that wrong. He said he would fight Shannon Briggs after the title, so that must be after this tournament. My bad. I just remembered it, Lee. I'm going up top.
Hey, look, Shannon just needs to fight somebody up at the top so we can get rid of Shannon.
Yes.
I mean, that's just kind of my whole gig on that topic.
Hey, Klitschko should fight in the street, Rocky. Like, don't even give him the big payday. Just next time he meets him, just knock his ass out with one punch, and everybody online will forget about Shannon Briggs. He'll go was the guy who got knocked out. They won't even know his name.
All right, my favorite topic of last week and this week, the Browne suicide watch. So I'm going to recommend for everybody to go listen to another podcast, which I rarely do. Go listen to Jay Moore. And if you don't know Jay Moore, he does Jay Moore Sports. He's syndicated for Fox. He's also got a podcast. He also happens to be a comedian. He's in the Carl's Jr. ad. That's Jay Moore. Does the voices. He's got a podcast. Here's my plug. Go listen to the Sugar Ray Leonard interview. Sugar Ray Leonard talks about talking to guys like Adrian Browne. And Moore brings up Browne. He goes, are you shocked by these guys? He goes, I've talked to them. He goes, they've got more God-given talent than I did, and they're wasting it with, he says, I told them point blank, people are going to remember you for the antics and not for your boxing. And now we're looking at it, right? Now Browne is literally melted. How long ago did I say that this would occur? I've been saying it for the better part of a year, that Browne will self-destruct and it will play itself out in front of all of us.
Yep.
And it is. Ultimately, it is.
And when you start posting guns to your head, guns on your car dash or whatever, right in the middle console, you had a pistol on there. I mean, the kid's got issues. Look, you suspend him, Lee. Boxing can't do this. Once a fighter says there's something wrong with his brain or he's going through depression, he must be suspended for at least a half a year. And I think that's what should happen to Adrian Browne. I don't care that he thinks he was playing, and I know he doesn't. His people got at him. Someone on PBC picked up that phone and said, what are you doing? You're going to be suspended. Ricky Burns will not happen. And you know what? They should. He should seek counseling. There should be a number of doctors that clear him from whatever he's doing online with this depression. And I mean, Lee, he wrote things like, I'm out of here, y'all. I can't take this anymore. And it's showing a gun.
I don't want to be a douchebag, but it would be fantastic.
No,
sorry.
Stop it. Yeah, that's the old Lee. You start. That's not right. What are you, Pacquiao? Are you Manny Pacquiao, Lee? Fucking Pacquiao. Jesse Vargas.
Did drugs. He did do drugs.
Yeah, fucking pop him.
Drugs.
You can't. Hey, Manny said he did drugs, right? Manny admitted.
Yeah, and he should shoot himself too.
He should shoot his fucking self. What is he doing, Lee?
I don't know. Danny Garcia is taking on Samuel Vargas. The biggest news to come out of that isn't the fact that he's fighting a tune-up fight with Samuel Vargas. It appears that Danny Garcia wants in on the Canelo sweepstakes of 2017.
He'd get mollywopped.
How do I well, first of all, is he that delusional that he think he should get in the ring with Canelo?
Yes, he is, because he's even saying that Keith Thurman is the overhyped job. And it's like, Danny's biggest win is against a guy who never won a title, Lucas Matisse. I mean, Danny really needs to look in the mirror sometimes and just tell himself that.
So Danny Garcia is going to take this Samuel, what's his name?
Samuel Vargas. He is
Samuel Vargas.
He's
And then he wants Thurman, and then he wants Canelo. That's his order of 2017 to prove that he is the greatest thing ever.
If I'm Oscar, I'd sign him. Sign it up.
I'd sign it right now. I'd make it right after the first of the year. When are you ready to go?
Absolutely destroyed. Hey, listen, I don't even think he gets past Keith Thurman. And the fact that he's fighting another B-rated opponent.
There's no way he gets past Keith Thurman.
Yeah, Lee,
one thing, look, I've never, and for those listening, I might be down on the PBC. I've never been down on Keith Thurman. I think Keith Thurman is very aware of himself. I think he is a very aware and smart boxer.
Yeah,
he fights
with power.
You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of a bigger, stronger Mayweather. He's thinking in that ring when he's fighting. It's a chess game to him. Okay, Danny Garcia, there is nothing going on up in your head. There is error and shit.
Yeah,
like
there's
error and shit up there of, I'm awesome. I'm just going to throw this left hook and put him down. I'm going to throw this left hook and put him down. Yeah. Shit, that didn't work. Let me try it again. I must not be throwing it hard enough. Let me throw a left hook and try to put him down again. Learn a jab, bro. I mean, I look at Keith Thurman with his range, keeping Garcia outside all day long and picking him apart and taking a 12-round decision, which he should. You don't want to get in close because I will admit, Danny Garcia kind of has a good left hook. Kind of. I wouldn't want to be on the inside of that.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to get hit by it, but you can avoid it very easily. Eric Morales showed us that when he mocked Danny Garcia in the first fight, throwing that punch. Now, he did knock Eric out in the second fight, but yeah, that was Eric Morales way past his prime.
Okay, so here's my $1 million question on the topic. Who rushes quicker to sign that fight, Keith Thurman or Canelo?
I would say both are head to head. I know it's like
they
whoever
can't throw
gets
money
them
at that
first.
quick enough, can they?
No, because I do think Danny Garcia is probably ready for Canelo right now. I couldn't see how a Keith Thurman victory would make that fight any bigger. You know, maybe against.
No, all he would do is lose by, and I'd say it. He'd lose by
knockout.
It'll be
I got Keith Thurman knocking out Danny Garcia.
No, I think it'd be a decision.
The
one thing I'll say about Thurman, I don't think he'd put himself in jeopardy at all.
He get him that one time, though. That one time. I'm telling you, Lee, Danny Garcia takes him flush on the chin. And during exchanges, that's why he's always cut. He's always swollen. Yeah, if you put someone in front of him like Paul Malignaggi or Rob Saldica, guys with no knockout power at all, will do fine. He drops them. But what happened when he fought Guerrero, Herrera, Peterson, Judah, Matisse? These guys are all champions, ex-champs. They all went the decision with him. So, look at Danny. For 3 years now, you've been cherry picking, bro. I don't really think you're going to beat Keith Thurman anymore. I don't. The only reason why he's a champ for beating Robert Guerrero after everybody beat Robert Guerrero. Come on.
Okay, hold on. So, as of Thursday of last week, the 12th, for anybody wondering, there are reports that Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia are signed for March.
Yes. Yeah, that's how they're selling this one. No, you know it's not real because that's how the PBC is going to push this fight onto the fans. Who wants to see? And I love how the PBC is saying Colombian Samuel Vargas. This dude lives in Canada.
Well, they leaked it out through, and I'm not going to out anybody, but Mike Coppinger leaked it out through USA Today. He's a writer. So clearly they're back channeling and pushing this out through a channel to see how it flies. If they're sticking it out through USA Today, I would be interested. I can see nobody talking about it from the 12th forward to today. Nobody even has brought up, it barely got shared. It barely got retweeted. Nobody was interested in, that's a pretty big fight. Thurman Garcia should have gotten more action than it actually did.
I'm telling you, Danny Garcia's fan base has dwindled in the last 3 years. This kid, Lucas Matisse, was so long ago now, Lee. That fight took place a long time ago, and the opponents since then have not lived up to that night when he beat Matisse. So, no, I think Danny Garcia, he'll beat this guy Vargas because Vargas. Nothing. There's nothing on him. He's from Canada. He's fought in Canada his whole life. Don't believe